Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with an album review. This time I'm going to talk about the new album from Whitechapel titled The Valley. This is the follow-up to 2016's Mark of the Blade, and it's released on Metal Blade Records, and it is their 7th full-length record. Crazy to think that Whitechapel has 7 albums now. So this album is sort of kind of a concept album. A lot of the lyrical content revolves around Phil Bozeman's kind of personal struggles growing up, and in the Hardin Valley in around Knoxville, Tennessee. So it's a very personal record lyrically, especially for him, and I'll get into that later. But I feel like to me personally, the past 2 Whitechapel albums have not been the greatest, and especially the last one. I just cannot get into anything on that album, mostly because of the production. It's not because they're changing their style and incorporating new elements into their sound. That's not it at all. I just thought the production was awful. It was so fake on their last album that it made it hard to listen to for me. But I'm still a massive fan of some of those early Whitechapel albums, and they still hit incredibly hard. But when they announced this album, which feels like forever ago at this point, and they released Brimstone, I was like, wow, Whitechapel's really bringing the heat. Not only is this song heavy, it's got catchy hooks to it, but the production is on point. And then it just kind of continued. They released literally half the record as singles ahead of time. When they announced this album so long ago, I'm forgetting what month it was exactly, but I'm like, man, March 29th is so long, and they're just already putting out so many songs. But I look at it, and I think their release strategy was pretty smart, because every song they released was very different and sent a different message of what the album is about. And I think, personally, this album is really incredible. I think it's something special in a way. And there could be an argument that this is the best Whitechapel album, period. And I'll get, a little bit more into that. So the album opens with When a Demon Defiles a Witch, and what I love about this song, I think it's one of the best songs on the album. And I love how it opens with the softness. I love how there is the clean vocals in it, and Phil Bozeman has really improved on the clean vocal side. He's very much creating his own style. He's not trying to be something he's not, and they're really writing. The writing on here, I think, is a lot smarter than their last album, because it just fits his vocals and his range a lot better, and everything meshes so much better. When a Demon Defiles a Witch is a good example. Third Depth is another one. I think that is one of my favorite tracks on the album as well. I just love how that song starts, and just the slowness of it, and the clean guitars sound great. The drums are awesome. And it's got a really catchy hook from Phil Bozeman. Hickory Creek is another one where, there's some screen vocals in there, but the chorus is more of a catchy, maybe a little bit more traditional chorus. But I think the guitar work underneath of it is amazing, and it sounds incredible when everything's put together. And it creates this tone that I think really just benefits the album as a whole. I love that they did not shy away from the clean vocals, because, like I said, I didn't think that was what was wrong with their last album at all. Evolve your sound, do something different, and that's great. And I think Phil Bozeman and the crew just nailed that aspect of it so much better on this album. It feels so much more natural. It doesn't feel forced at all, and it works, and I kind of welcome it in a way, because I think there's such a great balance between the cleans and the screen vocals. There's more screen vocals on this album than there is clean vocals, but I think when the cleans are there, they just make everything pop a little bit more. And I think a lot of those tracks that I mentioned are good examples of that. I also love when a Demon Defiles a Witch. Just the middle part is so in your face, and that's what I love. And then they come back to that. The heaviness with the second track, Forgiveness is Weakness, which is probably one of the harder tracks, more energetic, in your face, there's breakdowns all over the place. This song is hard, and I really enjoyed this one. And what I liked about it is that it's less than 3 minutes long. It's just in and out. Give you a quick jab in the nuts and gone. Brimstone continues the heaviness. Black Bear is another one that's got a really just catchy, fat guitar riff. I really like Black Bear a lot. But then even some of the other ones, that they didn't release. We Are One, The Other Side, Lovelace. I think those songs are really good. They're more on the heavier side. The riffs are really well done. The solos are really well done. The guitar solos. And Phil Bozeman just sounds better than ever. And like I said, the production is what is doing it for me on this album. It doesn't sound, Phil Bozeman isn't overbearing in the production to me. The guitar doesn't sound as kind of thin and just computerized and not as heavy as it once was. That raw sound was completely stripped away, I felt, in their past two albums. But here it's back. It has a little bit of that, but then it also just has that clean, crisp production that you would expect from a band like Whitechapel. I think they just fine-tune that, and it just creates a world of difference. I went back and tried to listen to their last album, especially Mark of the Blade, and even Our Endless War, and it still just does not click for me. But I think it just makes a world of difference here, and those songs are great examples of that. And then one of the strongest tracks on here is the final one, Doom Woods. What an awesome track. And I have always loved when Whitechapel incorporated some melody, especially on the guitar side, into it, created a lot more atmosphere. They've done a good job of that in instrumentals, for example. Blanking on the name of it, but the one off their self-titled record from 2012 is great. And I've always wanted them to bring more of that in, and they did here, and it is powerful. It's a great ending song, especially the chorus. When the whole band kind of kicks in, Phil Bozeman's going, and then that guitar lead over top of it's just so powerful and awesome. I really can see this song being incorporated into their set somehow, maybe as a closer or something. It's a great closer on the album. I could see it going over really well live and being a great live song. I think this album is really good. And the reason why I think there's an argument that it's the best Whitechapel album, and I'm not saying it definitively is. Time will tell. But I think the songwriting is so strong on here. I think the personal touch and the lyrics from Phil Bozeman really sends it over the top in a way. I think just the writing is more varied, and they execute it so much better. I love the Somatic Defilement and This Is Exile and A New Breed of Corruption as much as anybody. I think those albums are great. They were great for a very specific time, and Whitechapel's just a very different band now. And I think this is the best example of what they are and what they probably will be moving forward. And yeah, I just like this album, and I'm would love to hear what you guys think. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. The Valley is a great record and one of my favorites of the year. I can certainly see this being up there. I'm not saying it's my album of the year right now, but I can see it being up in the top, towards the top of my list. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of The Valley. See you later.